Hi guys! In this video, we introduce and guide you on how to perform a reliability analysis using Jamovi.
So guys, reliability analysis is essential in research as it helps us to determine whether a set of questions or measurements consistently produce accurate results. In Jamovi, this process is simple and efficient.
And throughout this video, we'll walk you through the steps from loading your data to interpreting the results. So guys, let's see and explore how Jamovi makes
Reliability analysis quick and user-friendly.
So we're gonna come up here to factor. Now factor is an umbrella term because all of these procedures have a lot in common. They all have to do with fundamentally whether there is correlation or covariance between the variables that are looking at. But we're gonna start with this one, scale analysis. Scale meaning a questionnaire or survey where you have multiple questions. Decide to measure or scale the same thing. So what reliability analysis, and here are options. Simply ask what the items or what the questions are. They are supposed to go into the same scale that are fundamentally measuring the same thing. Though the nice thing is, this formation we have this already labeled. E1 to E10, these are 10 questions that are designed to measure. Extraversion is supposed to introversion. Let's just take those 10 and move them over. So when we run the reliability analysis, these are the default table. Give us something called Chromebox alpha that lowercase Greek alpha or a, and it's like a correlation coefficient. And what you are hoping for here is to have a question positive value that is close to 1, maybe 0.7 or higher. We have negative value which is really bad, is low value. This is happening because we've got some funny things going on with the data. But that is something we're gonna be able to fix, but let's do a couple of things really quickly. I wanna come back to this scale statistics and I wanna click mean and I wanna click standard deviation. Now right now we have a mean that's really close to 3 that on 1/5 scale that's gonna be the midpoint. So that's great standard deviation. There it is. I find it really helpful to come over here and do item statistics and get the Chromebox alpha. If the items drop, so you've got 10 items in this scale. What it's gonna do on each of these say, well, if you got rid of that one and keep the other 9, what would it be? And you see it bounces around, but it's always negative. But the graphic can also be really handy here. Let's click on this one correlation heat map. It's kind of cute thing, especially when you have positive and negative correlations. We're gonna scroll down here and a second correlation heat map will pop up. Happens when a correlation is negative, it shows up as red. When it's positive, it shows up as a green. And we got this nice little checkboard pattern. It's the reason that's happening. It's exactly what our analysis told us here. It says, it looks like 5 of these variables are reversed. Scale is something that you do occasionally when you're doing surveys to make sure people are paying attention. You flip it around, and when we're in SPSS or some other program, we would then have to go and manually reverse variables and do this is all over again. But fortunately, the package that is based on the psych package makes it really easy to do this. All we have to do is scroll down here and tell it which one are reversed. And it tells us right here E2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I'm gonna go to 4. I'm just double click 6, 8, and 10. Look at what happens over here. It's going to calculate the alpha for the scale. And now we calculated the scale, and you can see, for instance, that we got this little a's here to indicate that this variable have been reversed. Scale, and look what's happened. The Chromebox office come from a negative 2 points, something to a positive 0.89, and you can tell that dropping one of these variables that is not gonna help it overall. This is a very tight group of variables. Just come down and look at the heat map. Now it's all green, everything is correlated with everything, and that let us know that we are now safe to average these 10 variables. And so instead of having 10 variables that measures extraversion, we can combine them and get single scale score that gets a more reliable and stable measure of extraversion. And of course, this is for the first 5 major personality factors. This extraversion, there are several others, and we will simply repeat this analysis for each of them as we go down, but the general concept is the same. We pick the variables we want, it calculates Chromebox alpha, which like an average correlation between the items, and let us know if any of them need to be reverse coded. It's very easy to set up that in the menus, and then we can see how each item contributes, or if it seems to be pulling away. In this case, the numbers support the whole thing, and the graphical representation supports the whole thing. We have consistent data, we can average it, then we can have the less is more. Fewer variables, but more reliable and potentially more meaningful in other analysis.
So guys, we hope this tutorial helped you understand how to assess the consistency of your data effectively.
Thank you for your time and attention. Bye-bye.